And here we go. This is Battle City. And it is going to be Kaiba against Marik. This is kind of like the final that we didn't get, given that it ended up being Yugi against Marik to sort of like conclude the story. However, I reckon that this should be a pretty good match. Well, hopefully it's a pretty good match. Although, given the two decks that Kaiba and Marik have, we could get a very good match, but we could also get a very quick match as well. So, this is a knockout tournament. First duelist to win will go through to the next round. We've already had Arcana defeat Joey, and we had Ishizu defeat Esperoba in the other match. This match is number 3, and let's have a look at Kaiba's starting hand, but from his perspective. So a much improved deck. He's got Thunder Dragons and Polymerization, so he can make the twin-headed Thunder Dragon. He played this once from memory in the Battle City anime. So you can discard one of them and you can add up to 2 more from your deck to your hand. So summoning the twin-headed Thunder Dragon isn't actually too difficult as long as you can grab hold of a Polymerization. And Kaiba decides to go with X-Head Cannon in attack mode. That was another set of monsters that was new to him in Battle City as well. Alright, let's see Marik's first turn. We haven't really... I don't think I've shown his deck yet, so... Marik's deck is pretty much... I pretty much googled and had a look at which cards Marik used in the anime, and basically used cards from the other rare hunters to fulfill his 40 card minimum requirement deck. And to be fair, I'm actually quite happy with Marik's deck. It actually shows his character as well as being sort of like that evil card with some of the monsters that he has of these like deformed fiends and everything. Kaiba has picked up a Blade Knight. That gains 400 attack while you have 1 or less card in your hand. So Blade Knight's not a bad card either. Okay, there's Nightmare Wheel. What that does is it immobilizes an enemy monster. It can't change its battle position or attack or anything like that, and you'll lose 500 life points per turn. Alright, that was Humanoid Slime that was attacked. Now, I could be wrong, but in Marik and Yugi's duel, I need to rewatch it, but I'm sure that Marik played Revival Jam in that. I could be wrong about that though. That could just be a false memory, like a Mandela effect or something. He did play Holding Arms, I remember that. He played that against Maya. That can't be destroyed by battle either. And with Holding Arms, its effect also can stop an enemy from attacking as well, so Kaiba's got 2 monsters on the field and he can't attack with either one of them. Alright, there is Y Dragon Head. That can be used as a union as well for X-Head Cannon. So yes, you can activate the effect like this, which Kaiba just did, but either way, you can also special summon XY Dragon Cannon as a fusion. You don't need to use Polymerization for that. Kaiba does have XY Dragon Cannon. He has YZ Metal Tank, I think it's called, and he also has that XYZ Dragon fusion as well. So he's got all those fusions in there. He's also got his Ultimate Dragon and his Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon in there as well. So XY Dragon Cannon is a pretty good card to have. Holding Arms can't be destroyed by battle, but that will take 1700 points off of Marik. So yes, I do like these Battle City duels so far. They the decks have a bit more strategy, they have a bit better monsters as well, and they also all hit harder as well. So far, I'm quite liking the results. Alright, there's a Monster Reborn from Marik, which is only going to let him bring back a Thunder Dragon. Unless, of course, he's got it in his hand. Bit of a pause, and there it is. That is 3 tributes, and that will mean only one thing. Marik is summoning the Winged Dragon of Ra. Cannot be special summon, requires 3 tributes to normal summon. Normal summon cannot be negated. when normal summon other cards and effects cannot be activated and all this. So what Marik's just done, he's gone and dished out all of his life points but 100 and put them onto Winged Dragon of Ra's attack, which has made it 6,200. Which, what? So if you draw Winged Dragon of Ra early, you can make it just obscenely powerful. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Kaiba has drawn enemy controller. Literally, he can tribute that Blade Knight and he can take control of Winged Dragon of Ra. In the anime, they had it so that like magic and trap cards don't work on the Egyptian gods. But in the actual Yu-Gi-Oh card game, it does work on them. There's no rule stating that is a thing for them, otherwise they would just be absolutely too broken if magic and traps didn't work on them. Like in the anime, I remember Obelisk the Tormentor punching through a mirror force. That doesn't happen in real Yu-Gi-Oh rules, so yes, Kaiba will be able to use enemy controller. He will be able to take effect of the Winged Dragon of Ra. And he just paid 1,000 life points and it said set card to destroy. That is one of Winged Dragon of Ra's effects. So Kaiba has just decided to destroy the Winged Dragon of Ra, I think just to poke fun at Marik and then finish him off with Lord of D. So that is what I mean, these duels, because of the way the monsters can summon and the power behind them, we can get some very quick finishes. So Kaiba has defeated Marik after drawing that enemy controller, which is a shame. But why enemy controller in his deck? I saw it on a list online of Kaiba Battle City cards. I really need to rewatch the Battle City anime. I haven't seen it for a while enough. I can't remember if Kaiba actually had that card. I think he might have. But it also feels like a card that Kaiba could have because, you know, he's... all of his game stuff, he owns a big Kaiba Corp company. Enemy controller sounds like a card Kaiba would have. Because that duel was very quick, I'm going to fire up one more. This is just going to be an exhibition match. We're going to flip and we're going to see Marik's perspective instead. So regardless of this result, Kaiba's going to go through to the next round. Marik's eliminated. But let's just watch one more duel just for the fun of it. And we won't go too in-depth into strategy. We'll see if we can get Obelisk onto the field just for a little bit of fun. Dark Geroid, that's a cool card. There's Yugioh as well. And he's also got Milky the Four-Faced Beast. I put that in as a filler as well. I don't know if Marik actually played it or not, but Lumis Umbra did. But it would make sense that Marik would have some of those cards from his Rare Hunters decks as well, because he pretty much gave them their cards, so it still makes sense. There's also Hell Poema. I think that's how you say that card in Marik's hand as well. Kaiba plays Upstart Goblin. That lets him draw another card. Upstart Goblin is like a replacement for Pot of Greed, because Pot of Greed is a banned card. At least on this it is. And there's Nightmare Wheel from Marik as well. He's able to freeze Kaiba's card in a face-down defense position. Kaiba will lose 500 life points every turn, or every one of Marik's standby phases, I think it might be. There's Vizardez as well. Vizardez, I think that might be pronounced. So slapping down another face-down defense. Yugioh's at 1700, that's a decent attacker as well. Alright, another face-down defense from Kaiba. This might not be an interesting match. I think we're going to deliberately try and summon Obelisk the Tormentor, just for a bit of fun. Since that first match was very quick. If you have 2 or more cards in your hand, banish your entire hand, add 1 spell card from your deck to your hand. That's not a bad card, considering if you've got a magic card that's really useful for your deck and you've got throwaways. Okay, Milkhead is played. Alright, so yes, Marik isn't playing as he should. We're going to summon Obelisk just to get it onto the field so we can have a look at it in action. Sort of as like a premonition for future duels. Let's just see Obelisk in action for this duel. Has he drawn? Yeah, okay, so Obelisk the Tormentor, I will confirm, is in Kaiba's hand, and we're going to put Kai's Seahorse quickly on the field, and we will summon Obelisk on the next turn. Well, with Kaiba going through, it is possible that he could play... It is possible that he could go on to actually play Ishizu in the... would it be the semi-finals? Yeah. So we could see an Ishizu versus Kaiba match in this knockout tournament, which would be cool. Alright, there go the 3 tributes. Let's have a good look at Obelisk the Tormentor. 4,000 attack and defense. That's set, that's what he comes stock with. It's not like Wind Dragon of Ra, where you use your life points to power it up. So Winged Dragon of Ra is pretty broken. There is also Marik in his deck. He does have... there's 2 other monsters in his deck, which are Winged Dragon of Ra monsters as well. One of it's that sphere thing. I can't remember the exact name. And there's also Winged Dragon of Ra... like Divine Phoenix or something. That's probably the wrong name, but it's something like that as well. But we got to see Marik's proper official Winged Dragon of Ra as well. So not a lot that Marik can do from here. He's got a 4,000 attacker staring straight down him. Coffin Soul is not a bad card. Each time a monster is sent to the graveyard, inflict 300 points to your opponent's life points. And that's either side of the field as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually not a bad card. Alright, Kaiba, face down. Oh. Damn, there goes Visor Dez. It would be cool if Marik draws Winged Dragon of Ra, but we're not going to sit here and flip through another 30 cards. There's a Revival Jam. And let's set that down. What was everyone's favourite Egyptian god? Mine, personally, I would pick Slifer out of all of them. Although they all have, like... They all have pretty powerful effects. Like Winged Dragon of Ra can get the strongest, in theory, if you pay all your life points. Like, Marik had that up at 6,200 in the last deal. Obelisk is a stock 4,000. And Slifer goes by the amount of cards in your hand, and unless you have infinite cards, that magic card, or is it called finite cards, where you can break that 6 card limit. Yeah, if you have infinite cards or finite cards, yeah, you can have as many cards as possible in your hand. That's a magic card that will go well with Slifer the Sky Dragon, because then, like, if you had like 10 cards in your hand, Slifer's going to be 10,000 attack points. Marik can activate the effect of Revival Jam. Revival Jam, you pay 1,000 life points when it's destroyed, and you can bring it back during your next turn's standby phase. In fact, there's even sort of like a deck strategy that you can build around Revival Jam even. It's actually a... it's an okay card. It can be a bit of an annoying one for an opponent, because if you bring it back during a standby phase, you can also use it as a tribute as well. I think, though, it can only come back, I think, if it was destroyed by battle. Is that correct? I would have to wait till it comes up on the screen again and check its effect. Yeah, the more and more of these duels that I'm doing, there is a series that I want to do, and it's using, like, house rules, like building decks with no effect monsters, like only having normal summon monsters and basic magic and trap cards, so it feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories again. Oh, there's a Blue Eyes. Nice, we get to see a little animation for that as well. Coffin Seller. And that's like any way that a monster will go to the graveyard, even a tribute summon. Like, Coffin Sellers are... like, literally, Kaiba has to lose 600 points to get all of Marik's monsters off the field. New Doria. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, target one monster on the field and destroy it. It's like a Man-Eater bug effect, almost. Man-Eater bug is from Flip Effect. New Doria is when it's destroyed in battle, but Man-Eater bug gets attacked most of the time anyway, so it's pretty much the same effect. So Obelisk can't be destroyed by card effects, so it does still have that in its description. I think it can be destroyed by magic and trap cards, but effects by monsters, Obelisk can't be targeted. And Kaiba also has his Battle Locks on the field. He does have Rabbit Horseman in his fusions as well. Upon building these decks, I never realized how few cards they actually use in their duels, especially players who only play like one game for like the arc, sort of like an Esperoba or even an Ishizu. Like they play one duel and you only see like maybe 10 to 15 cards, and on this game you have to have a minimum of 40, so some of the decks are actually quite challenging to build, so I have to use some suggestions on Google and try and think what cards fit with their theme of character and their deck. That's why a lot of characters have removed Trap and Dispel in, because sometimes making a 40 card deck for a character who only uses 10 to 15 cards in their anime duel is actually quite challenging, because like that's another 25 cards. You can make a lot of strategies on this game with 25 cards. Alright, we're nearly there. Kaiba passes a turn, I think. Did he just pass his turn? I don't know. This is all just for the fun of it. No, there's a battle phase. Where are we? Alright, Blue Eyes is destroyed. In the anime, Obelisk had an effect where it could like absorb the strength of two monsters. I don't think that's part of its actual card effect in the actual game, but nevertheless, Obelisk is still a very, very powerful card to have in a deck, but alright, there's Drillago. If the only cards your opponent controls are face-up monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. Well, that's not going to work because Kaiba does have a face-down spell or trap, so that's going to bypass Drillago's effect. He won't be able to attack directly. I remember Marik using Drillago. I think he used it against Yugi. And he did quite a bit of damage with that against Yugi as well in their anime duel. But yes, I do really need to watch that again. It has been a while since I last seen the Battle City tournament. What was everyone's opinion with the arc with Noah? I quite liked it. I just wish it didn't play halfway through the finals. I reckon they should have had it for after the finals. Anyway, little exhibition duel. Just because that first match only went for like 5 minutes or so. Or maybe 7 or 8. But anyway, we got a bit of a look at Marik and Kaiba's decks for Battle City. After this knockout tournament, we'll go into a full-blown season where we'll have best 2 out of 3s. Let's pull up the tournament bracket. Kaiba won this one. And let's see who's up next. As I pull up my bracket. Okay, Kaiba defeated Marik. The next match is Odeon vs Mai, which that one's quite interesting. Odeon's deck, following from his anime, he used a lot of trap monsters and tokens and stuff, so that's how his deck's been built as well. It's actually quite a... Odeon was one of the more interesting characters in terms of his deck, because he's like a defensive-minded player with those tokens, and then he turns around and attacks you with everything, so we should get a good match out of that as well. Actually, what's cool is that we could actually have Odeon versus Ishizu in the semi-finals as well. So Kaiba has defeated Marik, and he'll play the winner of Odeon and Mai. There's also Rex Raptor and Weevil. That should actually be quite a funny match. Strings and Seeker, they're 2 rare hunters that have drawn each other. Yugi against Loomis and Umbra, and of course Bakura and Mako. So Yugi and Bakura might actually have a quarter-final match, which is that's what they actually had in the actual anime as well. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to have Yugi and Kaiba in the semis. Yugi and Kaiba could make it through to the finals, like to the actual very final match. Anyway, I've talked for long enough. Tomorrow as well, there will be a match with the Duelist Kingdom season. And I won't pull the bracket up, but that match will be Mako and, again, Kaiba. Mako and Kaiba for Duelist Kingdom, I'm actually quite keen to see that match as well. So, well, wherever everyone is in the world, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the support and the comments. Really do appreciate it, and I'm glad that people are enjoying all the series so far. So, wherever you are in the world, stay safe, take care, farewell.